Hello. Anyone else here today? Or is it just me? Hello. Can anyone hear me? Because I can't tell. The software I'm using doesn't seem to tell me that. Well, I think it is. It also seems like none of my chat boxes are working for some reason. Right, I've adjusted the volume a bit, but I don't know if that's good enough for you guys. Why is my stream box not working, I wonder? Well, this has gone off to a fantastic start in my opinion. We have had, well, for one, it hasn't been, it wouldn't go live for the longest of periods and I couldn't figure it out. I was setting OBS to stream, I had all the cameras set up and I just could not get it going live. There's a big go live button into the YouTube live streaming section and I forgot to click that. So yes, that's gone well. All the Streamlabs stuff that I set up beforehand, which was working, is now decided to stop working on me. So we have no chat, no view count, which is fantastic. On the other hand, everything else seems to be going, well, fine so far. Right. I was just going to go for broke then. So this is the internals of the Sega PAC, that's PAC. This is for the Laseractive, and this is a entire, you may as well call it a Sega CDX. It has a Sega Genesis, Sega Mega Drive, a Sega CD or Mega CD, all combined into one, well, two boards here. The only difference really is a different BIOS chip, which is specific to the Pioneer Laseractive, and the Pioneer chip in the middle, which interfaces with the actual Pioneer Laserdisc player. And so far what I know about this is that this BIOS is different in the sense that the Laseractive acts as a big CD drive for the well, acts as a big CD drive for the whole console here. And because of that, they had to have a different BIOS so that it control the data going to and from. But this has two BIOSes. This has the Laseractive section of it, or the Mega LD section, and it's got the emulated Mega CD section. And the emulated Mega CD section just changes to, so when you put in a Mega CD disc, it switches over to the Mega CD BIOS, and this Mega CD BIOS it's almost entirely the same, except for obviously the drive mechanism. It runs things differently because it's not directly controlling the CD drive. So, you know, it has two BIOSes for the two different modes, the Mega LD and the Mega CD. Also, I feel, is there any music playing? Because there's supposed to be some music playing. Oh, is there Discord noises in the stream? Sorry about that. Let me just change it. I didn't realise I hadn't muted it. Sorry, Born. Okay. Let's just see. Open volume mixer and mute system sounds and mute Discord. Sorry about that all. Right. Like I said, off to a fantastic start. Okay, so the idea of today is to torture myself in replacing all of these SMD capacitors. I've got genuine Mauser Electronics Panasonic capacitors. These are 10 microfarad 16 volts. I do have some other capacitors somewhere. I was in a mad rush to get the stream going, so I can't remember where I've put them at the minute. And yeah. So yeah, what I think we'll be doing is we'll do the easier board first, because I think this is only possibly 4-layer, and then we'll work on this. And I'm also debating whether I should change the, I will be changing the battery, but I'm not sure if I'll be putting on a socket or not yet, because basically the socket I have doesn't fit that footprint, that 3-pin footprint. So yeah. Not sure what to do about that. Anyway, I'm going to start the soldering iron going, at least warm it up. Ah, my soldering iron's not plugged in. There we go. I'm going to attempt to use 280 degrees, and I've got the air gun set to about 350. I'll adjust them as I see necessary. Right, so I'll put this off to one side for the minute. I never did ask, how is everyone today? No, don't worry, Borm, I won't be doing that today. I have done it on other systems, and I have mixed feelings about it. It does work, it doesn't seem to damage stuff, but I don't feel happy doing it. Right, I'm gonna have a quick look around for these other caps, and then I'll get back to you guys in just a second. Stop it, Reese, I'm not going to be using a Dremel. I just realised I don't have my soldering stuff. I am fully prepared for this stream today. Right. You're probably watching the most unorganised stream that has ever been streamed. Right, I have bag of capacitors, bag of capacitors, bag of capacitors, and some soldering kit. It appears that I'm also out of my solder braid. Anyway, I'm debating what the best method of removing these smaller ones are first, because you know the traditional way is to do both sides and then pull it off. I have a hot air gun, so I can just heat them off and hopefully lift them off nicely, or I can just twist them off, you know. Right, so yes, I apologise about the camera angle, but there's not much else I can do without. I can probably flip it around if that would help you. Well, we'll go from here, see what people say. If I can mirror it, yeah. Let's have a look. You've already seen my face, Reese. You don't need to see it again. Okay, easiest way then is to just do this. Right. Of course you did, Reese. You absolutely love it. Right. How is that angle for everyone? Is that better? Lovely. Alright, let's get started then, shall we? We have 10 microfarad at 16 volts. We got them dotted all over the place. We have a bag of 10 by 16s here. What have we got here? A bag of 47s. I think those are 16s as well. What else do I need? I think there's just a ton of these, which are 10 by 16s again. Why do I have two? I don't know. Why do I have two? I don't know. It's alright, nothing but the best for my audience around here. Heck, I've even got a second camera going along, so if we end up needing that for anything, it's there. But we don't need it for now. Oh, you didn't even see that, did you? Okay, somehow I managed to turn off my microphone without even touching it. Apologies, everyone. Well, we had to do a kneel around here, didn't we? So, I'm going to give a little bit of commentary with doing this particular method of cap removal. And to say the least, I'm not a massive fan of this style because it does put stress on the pads. But seeing as this is the first time it's been worked on and there's no battery corrosion, I feel less bad about doing that today. Stop it, Garrow. We're not doing that today. But because this is a 4-layer PCB, it does feel like it's going to be more difficult. Yeah. So, this is what I was afraid of by doing this method. This has just entirely... Oh, we can do second camera time. This has just entirely ripped out the capacitor from the pins on the socket. So I think the easier way is to just heat them up with the hot air gun. Yes, I would use the soldering tweezers, but I don't have them. Right, what I'm going to do though is I'm going to change my bit to a smaller one and go from there. So this is the method I would prefer to do, but I don't, like I say, have capped on tape. So this will melt anything that is in the vicinity of it. But it does work. So, there's one removed capacitor. Don't need the second camera, do I? So yeah, and just to confirm, that was a 10 microfarad. It was. Right. So I think just by that alone, I'm just going to start hot air gunning these all off. Just seems to work the best. I might be a bit quiet when I'm doing this, but it's not because I don't love you guys, just because I need to concentrate. And everyone's managed to prove that is quite difficult for me to do. Well, at least difficult for me to do. See, I would love to get a bit more in the way of tools for my soldering equipment. Like, if I did this more frequently, then I think definitely I would want to get a pair of soldering tweezers. They seem like they would make a lot of difference. You know, it's just occurred to me I can probably come a bit closer to the camera. Oh, sort my overhead lighting as well. Which consists of an IKEA desk lamp. Somewhere I have some stainless steel grips. You know, you push them to open them up and then they close. And they're great for doing SMD stuff. Much better than Wilco pliers. Much better than Wilco pliers, but I can't find them. So I don't know where they are. You know, if this is as easy as they are on the main board, on the main Sega PAC, I think it's going to be a very short stream. Oh, this isn't my normal working surface. This is just a table that I do all my filming on. This table actually comes from B&M. It's quite cheap, but surprisingly sturdy for what it is. I thought it was patience that made everything go faster. I don't know, Andrew. Maybe we'll consider it. I know that friend called Pillock would probably like to do that. And remember, we're only removing the capacitors at the minute. We're not installing them at the second. That's where it's going to get interesting, because I don't have any soldering braid. And would you guess, my flux pen ran out the other day. Yes, I'm aware. Remember, I'm not a very prepared person. I'm also quite cheap. I don't like paying for expensive parts. Because I found that the best solder wick by far I've ever used is Goot wick. G-O-O-T wick. That stuff is really good, but it's quite expensive to buy. Like, it seems to be near enough £4 a roll, and that's for about a is it a 3 meter roll, something like that? So yeah, I'm a bit hesitant to stock up on that, because I don't generally have that much money to spend on tools like that. Good lord, come on. There we go. Yes. Definitely. If you're not having fun, then what's the point of doing it? Especially when it's an old console, especially for one that I've had for over a year now. The owner of this Sega PAC, who I don't know if he's watching. If he is, hello to you, sir. He gave this to me to repair, well, in exchange for my current computer system. The way he saw it, he wanted to fix his Laseractive up. He knew I'm quite handy with electronics, and he basically gave it to me in exchange. The only thing is, it's taken me ages to get around to fully sorting it all out. Not entirely because I'm lazy, partly because I'm lazy, but partly also just because I moved houses in between. Moved houses, had job as well, and obviously then we had the lockdown that occurred. So part of it is just I'm lazy, and I was procrastinating for a little while because you saw how many boards were in that thing. Whoops. Hello, sir, from the UK or VAX. I trust you will not cause any trouble in my domain. Just excuse me for 1 minute. See, Reese, I'd almost make you moderator, but seeing as I think that all of the people that are currently watching in this stream are going to be well behaved and mannered, I hope, I don't think that will be necessary. So I feel like we've got a good selection of 10 microfarad caps off of this board so far. Don't worry, Caro, there will be no Dremels. The only one I own doesn't work. Well, that one came off nicely. Right. So that is all the samey capacitors off the 10 microfarad at 16 volts. There is two down here that are 10 mics at 16 farad, but I don't know why they're different. So all of these ones have a second camera time. Oh, and it's not zoomed in. Okay. Come on, phone. Ah. Those are hot. So you won't be able to see that because the camera won't zoom in. Nope. Will this one do it? Nope, they're just making a mockery of me today. So these ones have a black stripe on them, and I don't know what difference. Well, I know that that means it's the cathode, but in terms of what difference they are to this, I don't know. It looks like they might be a bigger size. Yeah, it's bigger physical size. But if the values are the same, because I've only got just a big roll of all the same values, so if they're all the same, then I'm thinking to just install the ones I've got, because the smaller ones, they will still fit. So I think I'll just do that today. Morning afternoon CRG. I trust that you are well. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If the value's the same, it's the same. So I think I'll just go around cleaning these up. Also, if I appear shaky, it's not because I've got arthritis or anything like that. It's just because, well, it's a, I wouldn't even say it's a condition, just something I do time to time. Okay, so here's another thing. Right, focus, will you, camera? Come on, you're an S7, you should do fine. Is the autofocus not turned on or something? What's going on here? Come on, camera. There we go. Right, so you won't be able to see it. I thought this camera would be useful, but apparently not. Yeah, it's not doing it today. That's unfortunate. Anyway, I was going to try to show you that this pad here, the first one that I did when I was rocking it side and side with the pliers, it looks like to me that the pads were starting to lift on that, which is one of the reasons I don't like doing the side to side motion. That's why I wanted to try the hot air. Yeah, too much caffeine, that's it. So yeah, another thing that would really be handy right about now is having a hot plate. If I had a hot plate, oh, that would be so nice. Because with a hot plate, because of the way a 4-layer PCB works, you've got all the traces that are on the top side of this board, then you've got the ones on the bottom, but a 4-layer has 2 more layers on the inside, and usually they are huge copper planes. Both are usually power and ground, so in this case 5-volt and ground, and they will basically act like a heatsink to your iron. So because I'm already noticing that, I'm going to turn up my iron to, we'll try 330 for now. If 330 is too much, then I'll stop. Oh, can you? I'm assuming you're talking about copper wire, and it does work, but you really do need flux for that. I think that's what I was saying about with the goot wick. The goot wick has flux already on the inside of it, so it was really nice to work with. Okay, 330 seems to be alright. It seems to be just enough to melt the solder on contact, and not enough to start to cause the glue any issues. Right, so I'm going to tin all the cathodes. Yeah, this seems to work really well. 330. I'm sure that we'll have to change it on the main board. Yeah, that's working really nicely. Yes, Reese, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It does help the channel out much, well, greatly. Because currently the only popular video of mine happens to be, well, it happens to be a Curb Your Enthusiasm joke video. And yet it's one of my, it's got, well, in the last year or so, I've been doing the more what do I call it, professional looking videos. That's the only one that's really gone up high in the view count, and what's more annoying is that's the only one so far which is going on an upwards trend. So when I uploaded it, it stayed around 20 viewers, something like that, but what then happened is in the last week or so it's just been going on a upward curve. Oh, that's backwards. It's been going on an upward curve since then. So it started at 30, then it went to 100, then 500, now we're past the 1,300 mark. So the moral of the story is, if you want to have successful videos, just make joke videos all the time. It does take years to get a good audience coming up, but I don't care about subscribers so much at the minute. Well, I don't really care about subscribers at all. Just if people enjoy watching what they do, then brilliant. Yeah, it seems like if you take it less seriously, then the algorithm favours you more. I'm also not the only one who, whenever they open up SMD components, they just worry that it's just going to go everywhere. Am I? Because that's a lot of capacitors to lose. Right. Just going to have a quick drink. Oh, thank you, Andrew. That's very, very kind. Oh, there's, oh, what's this song? Rhythm Organizer. I have a feeling I'm playing this song to death on my channel. Oh well. Right. I'm gonna go away a second. I'm gonna try find my pliers, the locking ones, because they'll help much more than these at the minute. Failing that, I'm just going to go get a rubber band and stick it around the handles. I'll be back in a minute. Hello, Mr. Stuart Wood. How are we today? Right, so these are the two tools I was talking about. I'll try it down here. So you see here, this one's nice just to hold components in place or move them around. And I prefer these ones because this one, once you crimp them, it'll just hold the capacitor quite nice and steady. Good. Right. I'm going to do it in no particular order other than the way I did it before, which is going up and around and back and around. But what I will do is I will just slightly tin the leg of the capacitor. You know what? That feels like it'll be too hot to do, because... yeah, okay. Oh, that one's not gone on quite as nicely as I would have hoped. Mind you, because of the pads, I don't know if it will go on as nicely as I'd want. Okay, here's another little thing. So this capacitor, good lord Samsung, come on. I swear this camera is going to drive me insane. Right. Okay. There we go. We finally got a close-up cam. So this one here, I've just soldered. The solder has actually gone onto the can of the... good lord. Yeah, so it's gone onto the cam of the capacitor, which is no good. Especially since that's the anode. So let's try to clear that up nicely. Oh, I need to get wireless headphones. I actually don't know where I got these from, in all honesty. I think you'll probably find them on eBay. Probably from China and probably for quite cheap. Okay, that has not gone on. Oh, this is where it all falls apart on the stream. Okay, we're off the can. Right, so we're off the can. Let's just push it down a bit more. At least attempt to make it look like it's straight on the PCB. 1 out of however many that is. This is where having flux would really, really help. I just dab it here, dab it there, reflow it, and then solder the other side of the leg. Done. Alas, I run out of my flux pen, as I'd said. Let's do you next, because why not? I'm starting to think on some of these capacitors I don't need the 330 degree. I'm going to leave it because some of them, well, most of them connecting to ground, and the ground is going to destroy the heat or take away all the heat on the iron. Right. Another thing that's really useful to have is a magnifying glass to hand, so that you can easily see what's happened on. You can zoom up close, but thankfully, because I'm still quite a young chap, I've got some good eyesight on me. I'll enjoy it while it lasts. Yeah, you're right, CRG. The reason I'm doing it this way is because these have been, these caps have been, well, they're basically, the leads on them are a bit tarnished. They're not tarnished, but they're not as pristine clean. And when I'm only added flux, because this is flux core solder, if I've only added it to one side, it doesn't go onto the cap. But then again, I might try that anyway. You know what? I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to try it on this one and just see how it goes. Oh, someone got the funk out. Ah, I'm stuck on the other cap, that's what it is. Yeah, no, the thing is, CRG, the reason I'm going to follow your suggestion is because I will, if something seems like it might be a better way, I'll try it. If it works out, then that's what I'll do. If it doesn't work out, then, well, I won't. Because if someone is older than me and has been doing something for longer, it's a good chance I'll know what they're talking about, usually. And if they know what they're talking about, then they've probably got some good ideas and good methods behind them. You know what? That did actually work quite well. I was questioning whether it works to the flux, but that went easy. I'm sorry to hear about that, Peter. I do hope things come out better for you soon. We've all had it very difficult this year, and we all just need a bit of a break, I think. We don't need more stress when it's not necessary. Oh. This is just the YouTube audio library. I'm not subscribed to Epidemic Sound. I'm not that fancy enough of a YouTuber. For those who are curious, this is Ubiquitous by Diamond... Who is it? Diamond Ortiz. You know what, this is going really well. Except for the fact I've just soldered massively onto the can. Where's all my tools? I'll try not to. Right. You know what, finding the optimal position to put this tool on when you're soldering is probably just as important. That is working so much faster. It's like way faster. I didn't say this before. We're going to try to do about a 2-hour stream, 2.5 hour stream. I think we're already at the nearly 1 hour mark, or 45 minutes. I would like to do it as long as it takes to do this whole job, but unfortunately I have an appointment with some, how do I put it, pest control. It seems like this house is not exactly rodent resistant, so we need to figure out where they're coming in from. I'll take that as a compliment. You won't get any dirty jokes around here, unfortunately, or euphemisms. But hopefully you find it enjoyable nonetheless. No, unfortunately they are not bees. They do not give me any honey. Instead they just scurry around in the ceiling and then produce flies everywhere. It's been a topic of contention in the household. Come on. So you won't have seen it yet, but I did a Mac Classic 2 recap. Well, actually no, you've seen the first part of it, but that was just the analog board. But the second part of it, which is the motherboard, having done this now with you guys, I really regret what I've done with the motherboard. Nothing bad came out of it. I did manage to solder all the caps, but it was just a nightmare. It took me well over an hour just to do less than 15 capacitors. I think there's what, I don't even think there's 10 on the Mac Classic 2 motherboard. I'm sure Kai Robinson will be able to tell me wrong. I really wish I had my soldering wick right about now. Once you start using that stuff, it changes the way you do your electronic repairs. Although I did find that on dip packages it would not always work as effectively as I'd like it to. No, I haven't yet, CRG. If we get time, I might have a look into it in this stream. But there's no guarantees with that one, because I think that's going to take a good few hours to diagnose. Mind you, if this goes as swimmingly as I hope it does, then perhaps we can do another stream where we diagnose it, because I'm relatively certain of what the problem is, but I don't know for certain. There's a I think it's a TDA chip which drives the yoke on the classic analog board, and if that's at fault, then that would explain a lot of things. But if it's not, then well, I'll have to figure out why I've got vertical collapse. I've just unsoldered that one. That's not Gucci. And Reese, I never used to get on with Wick at all, but I found that Chinese suppliers or just cheap brands, they will generally not have flux impregnated into the strands, and that the flux makes a huge difference. When I was using, if I had this cheapy flux, cheapy wick, it would work only if I used either paste or liquid flux, and then it worked really well. But otherwise it was just abysmal. I think I need to put a finer tip on my iron for this job. I keep seeming to get the cap cans with this tip. I kind of don't want to change it, because it means I have to wait for the tip to cool down, because I'm not stupid. Well, I am, but... Well, I'm not stupid, I'm just a bit reckless sometimes. Alright. I have been soldering these on the right way round, have I? I have, okay. Again, that was something I did on the Classic 2's analog board. I soldered only one, but I soldered it backwards, because the anode marking, the positive leg marking on the board, seemed to be on the side I thought was positive, but there were two caps that were right next to each other, and the positive that I saw was actually the positive of the capacitor on the other side. So yeah, I ended up soldering that one backwards. Thankfully I saw it before I got too far, but still annoying. Everything's still going alright with the stream so far? No issues, no glitches? Like I say, my recommendation for soldering wick is just Goot Wick. I think it's a Japanese brand. I'll tell you what, it is Goot. think I've soldered that can again. Okay, if I keep doing this, I'm going to have to change a tip. Especially because I don't have solder wick, it's going to be very difficult to clear it up. Or even flux. As EEV blog, Dave Jones has stated, if you want a simple way of unsoldering two things, put flux between them. The flux will just break any connections. Stuart, I will tell you, this is junk. This only ever works with single-sided stuff. Otherwise, just throw it away. Because for double-sided boards, especially for boards like this, it's just pathetic. You have used that pump and it does work. I'm not saying it doesn't. It's just not as good as other methods. Yes, for that Draper one as well, I think, didn't you say it blew up after the second time you used it? A fitting punishment, I think, for any of those pumps. Okay. See you later, Andrew. I was looking at the process of the electronic desoldering stations and the vacuum pumps, and they look good. They look really good, except for the price. They were a lot more costly than I thought they were going to be, because that was going to be the Christmas present to myself. I decided not at a price of that, at least because I only get a certain amount I can spend on my stuff per month, so I couldn't justify it. No, I mean, I could justify it, but I couldn't afford it, really. Okay, come on. I've done it again. Ah. Okay. So ironically, to fix that, I just put a bit more solder on, and it breaks that connection. Right, where are we looking? Something has a very interesting smell around here. Yes, I know, Reese. I'm not an official cave dweller till I've got one, but... Right, need some more. Oh, for sure he does. But then Adrian's got a lot of things in his basement that I would really like. Oh, no. Oh, I found it. Beep to you too. It's starting to smell very chemically around this area. I think there's a bit of a conformal coating going on. Oh, that's cap juice. I have some IPA, I'll clean it off. I can't even see the messages. I didn't wash the board CRG, but the board sits like this normally, and I know there's possibly the chance of capillary action, but I am doing this more or less as a preventative measure rather than actually needing to do it. This goes back to me not wanting to recap things unless it's strictly necessary. I don't think, like, there is a conformal coating on this board, you can definitely tell, or just used flux from the factory, but there's not actual cap juice on this board. Yes, I'm aware that cap juice does, but I mean, I'm looking at the old caps and they don't look like they've leaked. If anything, where they were, it's just flux. So it's not a good practice. You're right, it's not a good practice to not wash the board, but I think in this instance we'll be alright. That's enough of that on this stream. I'm gonna have to go around these caps and just really closely inspect them afterwards. I mean, you should do anyway, but Yeah, that's what I have the opinion of, CRG. The generally speaking, caps, unless they're, at least for the SMD ones, unless you can see that they're wrong, either they've leaked or the console just doesn't work, something like that, you generally don't need to change them. Is it a good idea to? Possibly. And I'm going to do it because, like I said, it's a very rare. Well, I don't know how rare it is nowadays, but it's a rare system and it does need to be taken care of. But spoiler alert, I'm not going to be doing the oh good lord, I'm not going to be doing the through hole caps on the main circuit boards, because that is very complex and has a chance of utterly breaking something. And considering how complicated Laserdisc players are, at least the Laseractive is, and with my experience of capacitors on well, capacitors on consoles, I don't really want to go touching it. If there is a problem in the future and I do get another chance to have a look into it, then I probably will, but for now it works. I was surprised when the laser just needed a clean and it fixed it. So you can, generally speaking, solid state capacitors, you could easily put them on in place of through hole SMD, anything. The only reason I'm not is mostly a cost thing. I think for the Laseractive, the Mac Classic, and something else I ordered, another project that's down the line, some of you may know it, the cost was over £50, and this is for Panasonic capacitors. Granted, it also had quite a few connectors in there as well, which were obsolete, but it was still quite a cost. So I didn't go solid state caps, but you could. And yeah, I'm sorry, I've just read your second message, CRG. Yeah, that's the thing, if I test those old ones, they'll probably be fine. The console itself worked. I couldn't try the Mega CD or Mega LD parts of it because, well, I don't have an American Sega CD disc. All of mine are PAL, you know, because they're Mega CD games. And because the owner of this board does not have, or the owner of this console does not have any Mega LD discs, so we were stuck to what we had, which was the two laser discs, which I still have, which are behind me, and the audio CDs. But if it plays those, it should reasonably play other content fine, except for I got an email, and I hope the viewer does not mind me saying this, but he had a Laseractive, and I think he said that if he put in a it would play the it would play Laseractive discs, but it would play laser disc videos fine, but it wouldn't play the Mega LD discs. And I had to say to him, I'm really sorry, but I don't understand the system fully enough to be able to help you, because it sounds like to me that it, obviously, because it can read the video data, but it can't read the digital data that's stored on the LD disc. So I said to him, it's probably your fault. Whether or not a recap would fix it, I don't know, but that's something that is above my knowledge, unfortunately. I haven't heard back from him, unfortunately. I mean, he did say we did have a conversation about the recaps and stuff, but I haven't heard whether or not it fixed the issue. And if he is listening, I'd love to know. Shared knowledge and all of that stuff. Okay, around this connector is really difficult because I'm trying my darndest not to burn the connector. But it's causing issues with getting to this pad. I also hope the music doesn't get too repetitive. I do need to expand my repertoire of... Repertoire? Is that the word I'm looking for? My collection of royalty-free songs. I have to make sure that none of Kevin MacLeod's stuff is in there as well, because otherwise I'll have to go through and add the copyright commons. Copyright commons? The CC clause, or is it GNU clause? I can't remember. But at least his music, you have to do that. Morning, Clay. How are you? I hope well. Hope this year has been seeing you good so far. I've had a computer where I soldered in all of the capacitors backwards. Not because I was an idiot. It was a Dell, and they changed some. Like, usually with capacitors, they make it so that the striped side on the PCB is the negative side. At least, more often than not, in my experience, that's how it's been. And so that's the methodology I followed. I just soldered the caps on where they had stripes on the board. I'm sure you'll know where this is going. They were not for the negative side; they were for the positive side. I don't even remember if I had to turn it on for it to blow up. At least plug it in, but I can't remember if I had to turn it on for it to blow up. It never worked after that. Okay, I'm going to go on eBay later and just get me some more Gootwick, because this is unbearably annoying. Hello, Andrew. Thankfully nothing's exploded, despite the fact I was talking about a Dell that had exploded in my past. And not a Dell the singer, a computer Dell. I hope her Dell doesn't explode. I'm not massively into her music, but at the same time I don't want it. I don't think she's awful. Although I wish she'd stop sounding so depressed in all of her songs. She's got a beautiful voice, but she sounds depressed in every single song. Okay, you're not liking that in a minute, are you? some of these caps I'm noticing they don't want to go, like, you melt the pad but they just don't want to go down. Like this one, the solder is melting but it just doesn't want to stick to this cap. Who's mentioning my name? I was watching one of my old videos the other day, and when I say old I mean 2013, and I was surprised when I heard the Skype sound. No, not Skype, the MSN Messenger sound. After all, it's been how many years since that service shut down now? Even longer, since the xylophone was the message sound. What's going on with my iron? Clean your iron once in a while. Or should I say clean your tip once in a while, hey? That at least only landed on the circuit board. So I'm noticing that these are power supply capacitors, or at least these go onto one of the big ground planes. That's why I'm having more difficulty soldering these caps down. Please don't do that. I think that one's going to be a bit wonky because I just cannot get the ground to properly stick down. Nope. Never mind. Got it. That's hot. That's only the second time I've nearly burnt myself in the stream. Oh, there is some Kevin MacLeod stuff, MacLeod stuff, sorry. I'm gonna have to find out his licensing then. Right, we are now 6, 7, 8, 9 capacitors away from being done with this. Well, at least just the 10 mics on this board. It makes me think we might not have time to do the main Sega PAC, unfortunately. But on the other hand, that means there's probably a good chance I'll do another live stream soon enough. Obviously, I won't want to intrude on Reese's stream, which is happening the 27th. So I think you should all go check that out when it comes out. Does some good stuff, he does. Oh, I think my second camera's just died. Yep. I knew I should have plugged that in. Oh well. We weren't using it anyway. Oh, I missed that one, Born. I saw you delete that. I give myself one too many. few of a cap. Don't you shift those eyes at me. Right, the last 10 mic cap, at least on the ones I've taken off. And I've completely messed it up. No, I've messed that one up good. Okay, just get another one. I got loads of spares. Can't remember how many I ordered, but I think it was enough for 2 boards or 1.5 boards, just in case I messed it up. Which is a good practice, really. If you mess something up, you want to have spares. I am not doing this one too well. It's always the last one that's going to be a pain in the rear, isn't it? Right, so that is all the smaller 10 mic caps. I'm going to change the 2 of bigger ones. I may as well, I've got them. And then do the 47s. There's 100mm, no, sorry, 200s. So there's 2 47s, 200s, and then this board is recapped. Granted, they're not as straight and as perfect as I'd like them to be, but they're good enough. Right, so let's get 2 of those out. I seem to just be angering this rather than desoldering it. Nope, there we go. That one didn't smell so happy to come off, so maybe I might use a bit of IPA underneath. Yeah, those ones don't seem as happy underneath, so I will clean those off. It's kind of got like a fishy smell to it, so that one doesn't seem as happy with the hot air. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that these ones are like that. I think the bigger the cap is, in terms of value, it seems to be the ones that are more likely to give issues. There we go. Okay, let me just go get some IPA. You can see my mouse. Oh well. Right. I have never seen a squeezy bottle which doesn't actually spray. It just, well, it mists. Ew. Ew. Squeaky clean. Smell of alcohol. Oh, I've just messed up. I just openly desorted all 4 of the big caps, and 2 of them were 47, 2 of them were 100. Which ones were which? I do not know. Was anyone else paying attention? Right, I actually can't remember which one it was now. I can't believe I did that. Let's see if I can find a picture of it. I think I took one. Actually, I definitely did. It will be on my I definitely did. It will be on my video production server stuff. Right, okay. So, it was 100, 100, bloody cars, 100, 100, 47, 47. I am so glad I started making this series. At least the fact I filmed it. To be fair, Born, if I had just done what I did the first time around and only removed the same values at the same time, I wouldn't have had that problem. I cannot get in here with that. Who put this chip so close? Well, I've done the most difficult one first, so everything else should be easy from here on out. Oh, watch as that doesn't happen. Okay, now I'm going to swap over to this one. Alright, see you later, CRG. I think we're coming up to close to our deadline tonight as well, unfortunately. When I was figuring out times, I thought to myself, it's going to take a good few hours, sure, to do the Sega PAC. But I thought when I said a good few hours, I was talking about the entire 2 boards. Not just this, the soundboard, really. Yeah, well, if you want a job done well, it takes time. Sounds like it's home time outside. All the cars passing by. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I apologise if you can. And there we go. That was the last cap on this, just as the funk came out. So that is one audio subboard recapped with a shotgun shell with capacitors. Right. We won't have that much time, unfortunately, to do the main board. Unfortunately, like I say, I've got an appointment coming up, and basing it on the fact that this board took nearly 2 hours to do, well, at least an hour and a bit. I don't think we'll get time to do this. What I do want to do at the very least is take that battery out, mainly so I can start experimenting with what kind of socket I can put into the other side. Well, so we can change it to a more standard CR2032. Right, so let's get started with that. Unfortunately, I cannot use hot air on this part because, strange enough, it's the battery. I can use heat, sure, but I just want to be careful about it. The other problem with using a battery holder is the height. You might have seen that this is not a very big unit. I think we'll be fine, but still got to be careful of it. Yeah, this is gonna... Okay. I'm gonna have to use a hot air gun, but on the back side of this board, because the... this is still warm. I'm gonna have to do it on the back side because this is... if it's not a 4-layer board, it's possibly a 6-layer board. and because of that it's gonna be a pain, absolute pain to desolder because of the ground planes. What I'm doing is I'm going to heat up around the area. I'm not going to try to desolder it with the hot air gun, but I'm going to put heat along everything so I can start to heat up the internal ground plane or internal power planes and stuff like that. That way it should desolder much faster. Let's see, it looks like it's starting to go, so yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Just instantly melted. Now if only that battery would actually remove. Of course the other option is just to snap the battery out. That might not be as a stupid idea as it sounds, because if I take the battery out, snap it out, I don't have to worry about it exploding on me. And if I can do that, then I just have to pull out the tabs. And for the record, I'm on the you can't see. There's a little metal tab on the inside there. That's what I'm levering against. I'm not levering against the motherboard. There we go. Ah. So. Oh, that's blurry as heck. That has broken the mounting tab between the motherboard and the thing. Oh, I'm gonna regret that. On the other hand, it's removed the tab, so I should be able to just pull this battery off now. Oh, now you'll come off. Thank you. Yeah, it's not the fact that I wanted to keep the tabs. It's the problem is it's getting the old tab out of the motherboard. Oh, there we go. One desoldered battery. Possibly could have gone a bit better, but it is out. Actually, I've got a question for you all. Have you ever had a coin cell holder, a coin cell 2032 leak? Yeah, this is why I don't like the pump. It doesn't do a good job at all. Yeah, I don't want to do that, Borm, just because first of all, I don't know if it's going to work, and second of all, I kind of don't want to damage the pads. If it comes to it, I'll do it, but it's not my first choice. Yep, that's what I was afraid of. Yeah, this is just not working, is it? This is what I don't like about this pump. It doesn't always take it. The reason I asked about the coin cell is because the Mega CD 2 that I did, it started corroding on the bottom side of the battery, and I've never seen it before happen either. But the fact it did happen just makes me curious. That well, made me curious if it's ever leaked. Because I suppose they're still lithium cells, so they could theoretically leak. Ay, come on. This is what I hate with desoldering through hole. Hey, there we go. Enough heat and you'll desolder anything. Also, the board is quite hot. Right, I'm going to have to heat that one up too. You know, it just occurred to me, I do actually have, or had, a coin cell holder that would have been perfect for this socket, or at least this footprint, because I need a 3-pin coin cell holder footprint, and the only ones I've ever seen, usually on eBay and the like, have been the 2-pin one, which you can use and they do work, but yeah, I have one. Unfortunately, I think I've used it on a personal project and then destroyed the pins on it. There is, Andrew. That's why I'm trying to be gentle about it. And keep it very much constrained to the area that I'm working on. This is why I like not having the heat so high, because you might get stuff off very quickly with the high heat, but do you want the things around it to still work, and do you want the actual part you're taking off to still work? Obviously for the battery I don't care about it, because it was running 0.3 of a volt. I'm no expert on batteries, but I'm pretty sure that means it's useless. So this is the negative side of the battery, and as I predicted, it is just not wanting to come out because of all the ground planes on the inside. It must be I don't think it's a 4-layer board. It must be like a 6-layer board or something. There's no other reason why this one would be so much more difficult. A 6-layer board back in, what was this, 93? Must have been expensive. Granted, the console itself wasn't cheap, but I think I'll be making an order up for some Kapton tape as well. I like your thinking, Stu, but I don't think that this will work in. Oh, that'll work in this case. I regret this. I regret this. If it's corroded inside of a layer, you have to use an external bodge wire. There's absolutely no other ways that you can go about it. You can't take the actual physical PCB apart. So you have to just find out where it goes to and put a bodge wire on the other side. It's ugly, but it works. To be fair though, unless you've got like a battery leak, generally speaking you won't have a internal layer fail. I regret this so much right now. Like I said, Stu, it depends really on the board itself, but if you can put a bodge wire in, an internal trace that's corroded isn't the worst thing in the world. Yeah, so it's actually on the the RMC Discord, a member called Kai Robinson. He has currently taken a Mac SE30 motherboard, broken one, of course, and a Mac Classic motherboard, and he has fully remade the layout inside of Sprint, and he has literally had circuit board, at least the SE30 circuit board, remade. So people do it, but the Mac motherboards tend to be quite simple. They're 4-layer boards, I think, and they're relatively simple construction. You know, like most Apples, really. This pin is just not coming out. To be fair, if your board delaminates, you got bigger problems, I think. Yeah, I've been trying that bomb, but it's just not, it doesn't want to do it. I've turned the iron up to 350 now, and I really don't like that. I don't see what other choice I have at this point in time. Yeah, 350 degrees. C. I don't like that temperature. But as I've said throughout the stream, if it comes to it, then I'll do exactly that, because this just ain't coming out. Yeah, okay. We blame Borm if it goes wrong. I think 350 degrees Fahrenheit anyway is pretty cold anyway. Hey, I think that just came out. That might have just come out. Boom, strikes again. I need to get one of those solder pult things? Yeah, I can't clear that one now. I mean, we've got the pin out, which is fantastic, but if we can just clear off this, clear out this hole. Once we do, I think we're going to have to call it on the stream because, well, I will have about half hour to prepare for our little guest to take care of our other guests. Yeah, I seem to be angering it more than I seem to be desoldering or clearing out that hole. I think I'm going to have to give up with trying to clear this hole out because it just does not give me good vibes. Feels like I'm going to rip up the trace more than I'm going to clear it. In fact, I think it's already starting to not be happy about. Yeah, okay. I'm going to call that because I don't like what's going on here. What I will do is just clean it off and yeah, that's what I'm thinking is what I'll do is I'll just get the new socket and then what I'll do is I'll heat up this pad whilst pushing down and hopefully it does clear up the solder so that I can just push it into the socket. Or I just wire the ground to somewhere nearby but somewhere else on the board because there's not much else I can do really. So I'm going to clean this up because it's an absolute mess and then I think we'll call it today. I'm hoping I've not damaged these 74 series parts that were right next to the battery. Well, one's a 74, one's a battery management IC. But I suppose we'll find out soon enough. Right, so yeah, we've at least got the battery out, which is one of the things I wanted to do. That's going straight in the bin. But yeah, we've at least managed to recap the, I believe this is the actual PCM audio section of the Mega CD. That goes on here. So if we managed to do that, I think we will come back to this on another live stream. Because I don't think recording all of this and editing it down is going to do any good. I think what we're going to do is come back to this another day. We'll finish off this board when I've got like at least 4 hours or something to do on it, and then we'll go from there. And then I'll do put this together in well, do a what's the word I'm looking for? I will do a quick time lapse or something like that. Just briefly touching on it. I think maybe that'll take some time because I want to get some caps on tape so I don't damage these RAM chips, these plastic connectors and all that stuff, because I've got to desolder this one here, which will right next to the cartridge connector, which will burn very nicely. Same with the Pioneer connector, Pioneer actual connector, over this one as well. So I'll get some caps on tape, I'll get some flux, and I'll get some more courage to use high heat on this motherboard. But yeah, I think I'll do us for today. Really? So yeah, hope you've enjoyed it all. And I'm going to go and get ready for our pest control friend. Right. Thank you all for watching me mess around with a soldering iron for a little while. Like I say, time to go get prepared for other things. Thank you all for watching, and hopefully we can do this again soon. Bye.